Please subscribe math.com and don't forget to hit the bell icon for new video notification.
Hello everyone. Our today's topic is integration by parts. So as in differentiation we discussed the product rule when we came across the functions that are multiplying with each other. So in integration, when we came across the situation that we have two functions and they are multiplying with each other, then what we have to do, what formula we have to apply. Let's see today how we can do integration by parts when we came across the two functions that are multiplying by each other. So at the end of this lecture you will be able to learn when to use the integration by parts, what is the formula of integration by parts, and how to choose one function out of two in a very careful manner so that you can easily find the integration of the two functions that are multiplying by each other with the help of the example. So first of all we will see when we have to use the integration by parts. So we have to use the integration by parts when we came across the situation in which we have to find the integration of two functions in a way that they are multiplying with each other, or when there is a product of two functions. So it is clear from here that we know that when to use the integration by parts, and there is no other thing about it other than that you have two functions that are multiplying with each other. Then what is the formula that we have to use while doing integration by parts? Let's see. So here is the formula of the integration by parts. Don't get confused, it is very easy, you just need to understand it very well. So once you have the formula and you have to memorize it, you can easily apply it to any function where there is a where there two functions are multiplying with each other. Here we have the formula where u represents one function, v represents another function. So it means we have two functions that are multiplying with each other. And when you came across such a situation, you have to apply the formula on the on the right hand side. So let's see what this formula says. First of all, we have a u, that is first function. We have to write it as it is. Then we have the integration of the second function minus the integration sign, and then first we take the derivation of the u function and then the integration of the v function, and when after that we have got a result, that result will be combined and we have to take the integration at the end of that result. So this is how this function will be used in order to find the integration by parts, or the integration of the two functions multiplying by each other. So let's see, there is a rule that you have to be in your mind while using this formula, otherwise it will be difficult for you to apply it. Sometimes it can make the it can make it complex, so you have to save yourself from the complexity and keep it as simple as you can. So let's see what is the rule that you have to adopt. So the rule is you have to choose u and v wisely. You cannot say that whatever the function you can choose as u and whatever the function you can choose as v. So you have to be careful that which function should be u and which function should be v, because sometimes while simplifying the functions we get a complex form that becomes more difficult to solve by using this method. So you have to be careful and you have to choose u that gets simpler, as we have to find the derivative of u, must have the derivative of u that will be simpler after derivation, and we should not get more complicated when we integrate it. So these are the 2 points that you have to keep in mind. I have just written it here. I will explain it through example as in a short while, that how you have to choose u and v, and how you will come to know that we have to choose this u and we have to choose this function as v. So let's start with the example and you will see that how to choose the u and v wisely. This is the very important part of integration by parts, as otherwise you will get stuck into it and it won't be easier for you to find the integration by using this method. So let's start with the example. So here we have a very simpler example that we will start with, that you should understand the concept. First start with the simplest one and then move towards the complex ones. If you will be able to decide which you have to choose u and which v, then it will be easier for the complex functions as well to solve them easy. This is the integral of two functions there, where we have x as one function and e raised to power 6x as second function. Now let's choose what should be u and what should be v. I will choose x as u. This is u, and why I will tell you. Because here when I will derivate u, or when I will derivate x, I will get 1, and it has made the integration easier, that you have removed one function from there and then you will only have v, and it will be easier to find the integration of a single function. Because our basic motto is to solve the two functions that are multiplying with each other, not to create again the two functions that are in multiplication with each other. That will be complex. If I say I put e raised to power 6x instead, or if I say I take u as e raised to power 6x, then what will happen? I will again have e raised to power 6x at this place, and v will be x, and again I will get x square over 2. It means two functions are again multiplying with each other. It means we are not going towards simplification, we are going towards complication. So your motto should be to move towards simplification rather to move towards complication. So I have decided to take x as u and e raised to power 6 as v. Now let's solve it. You will see how easier it will be to choose this function as u and v. What we have to do first, we have to write u as it is. It means I have to write x. We have to find integration of v. So integration of e raised to power 6x is e raised to power 6x divided by 6. This is the integration of e raised to power 6x. It means we have solved this part of the formula. Then we have minus and then integration sign, and then we have to take the derivative of u. It means derivative of x. Derivative of x is 1. Then what we have to do is we have to find the integration of v. Integration of v is already we have found at the start of this formula, that is e raised to power 6x over 6. So I will not write here again the integration of v. I'll just write directly from here e raised to power 6x divided by 6, because I have already found the integration of that function. So no need to find it again and write it again, and dx. Now next is we have solved this function. It will be written as it is. We have solved this part of the formula. It will be as it is. Now just left is this one, that is integration of e raised to power 6x divided by 6. Its integration will be e raised to power 6x as it is, and the constant that is in the power will be multiply in the division, in the denominator. So we have 6 again in the denominator, so 6 into 6 is 36. So you will get 36 into the denominator plus c, and that's it. Now look how easier it is to find the integration of a function of two functions that are multiplying by each other by using integration by parts. As we have choose u and v wisely, so it becomes easier for us to find the integration of this function in such a way. So let's have one more example, then it will be more clearer to you that how we can choose one function as u and the other as v out of the two. Another example is, now let's see how we will choose u and v from this given function, where we have the x raised to power 5 is the one function and natural log of x is the other. Sure, understanding should be clear here that while finding the integration of natural log of x, it is not possible to say directly that what is the integration of natural log of x, as natural log of x itself have to be integrated by using the integration by parts. Because when we find the integration of natural log of x, we multiply it with 1 and then we apply the formula of integration by parts. So we cannot use natural log of x in a way that we have to find the integration of it. So we have to take natural log of x as u, because we can find its derivative and we can keep it as it is, but we cannot find its integration by using this method, as it will be more complex for us. So and we can easily find the integration of x raised to power 5 by using the simple method of integration, that we will add 1 to the power and divide it by the same. So it means natural log of x will be u and it will be v. Now let's solve it. How we can do this? Let's see. So first of all we have to write u as it is. U is natural log of x. I have written as it is. Then what we have to do, we have to find the integration of x raised to power 5. I'll write in terms of formula for your ease. In the previous example I have done it directly, so I'll write here for your ease. We have to take the integral of x raised to power 5 minus then integral of d by dx of which function? We have to take u, that is natural log of x, as we know that the derivative of natural log of x is 1 over x. Then we have to find the integration of x raised to power 5 and dx. Let's see how it will be solved. So natural log of x will be as it is. Integration of x raised to power 5 is x raised to power 6 divided by 6 minus integration of natural log of x is 1 over derivation of natural log of x is 1 over x, and the integration of x raised to power 5 is x raised to power 6 divided by 6 dx. Now we can simplify it by like this, and let's see what we'll get. Natural log of x into x raised to power 6 divided by 6 minus integration of x raised to power, we have to take the 1 over 6 out, so it means integration of x raised to power 5 need to be found. So x raised to power 5 integration will be x raised to power 6 divided by 6. So this is the integration of this function. How easier it is. How easier it is to decide which function should be u and v, as it is clear from here that we are moving towards simplification rather than complication. So be careful about it. Don't move towards complication. Don't choose a function that will be complicated after finding its derivative or after finding its integration. So one more thing, there are some basic functions that you need to be in your mind that should be taken as u, that will, as it will become easier to solve the integration by parts. Let's write them. It will be easier for you to understand whenever you came across the function, and you will just say in seconds that which should be u and which should be v. So integration of u dot v dx. So we will decide what should be u. For u, if you came across these functions in the integral, then you have to choose these function as u, as it will become easier for you to solve. If you have x square, x cube, like these are the algebraic functions, then if you have natural log of x or log of x, again you need to choose it as u. Then if you have the exponential functions like this, or if you have constant in the base like this, still you have to choose it as u. Or if you have the inverse trigonometric functions like sine inverse, cos inverse, tan inverse, again you have to take them as u. Or if you have the trigonometric functions like sin x, cos x, tan x, so in all these situations you have to choose these functions as u, because it will make the integral of the given two functions as simpler rather than the complex. So you have to keep these things in your mind, these rules in your mind, then it will be easier for you to find the integration by part. That's all from today's lecture. Thank you.